Hey everyone, welcome back to Bible Q&A. In today's video, the question that we are going to be answering is, if God is all-knowing, why do we have to tell him our requests? So to begin, we're going to look at Matthew chapter 6 verse 8, where Jesus Christ actually made it clear that before we even bring our requests or wants or needs to God, God actually knows them already. In that account he said, "Be not ye therefore like unto them." The them here is referring to those who repeat their prayers over and over and over again, like God didn't know and he didn't hear them the first time or the second time, so after he's saying it over and over. Jesus Christ was like, no, don't be like those people. For your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. So then the question comes, what's the point of praying to God and making our requests known to him if he already knows them? Why doesn't he just, give them to us in the first place? And the answer to this is the fact that with any friendship we have, either with God or with a human being, no friendship can exist without communication. Imagine if you have a friend and maybe you don't talk to them and they don't talk to you for the next, 5 or 10 years. That friendship is essentially dead because the basis for any friendship is the dialogue, right? Even if it's as simple as just you telling them how your day went and just telling them what happened, that basic communication is what keeps the bond, the friendship, the relationship going. And in the real sense, the same thing works with God. You see, people who God was obviously friends with, people like Abraham. In fact, in Isaiah chapter 41 verse 8, Abraham was called the friend of God. If you look at Abraham's life, he was always talking to God. Genesis chapter 17, you see he was having that kind of dialogue with God. Genesis chapter 15, they were having a conversation. Genesis chapter 18 verses 23 to 33, they were also having a conversation. And we can extrapolate from there that they must have spoken on many other occasions too. Just as it was said that Jesus Christ's works, not everything was written because there wouldn't be enough books to write it all. So Abraham was always talking with God. David was always talking with God. If you read 2 Samuel chapter 7, verses 18 to 29, David was talking about the promise that God made to him and how God should make it happen and all kinds of stuff. And 1 Samuel chapters 23 and 30, when David was in distress, he talked to God about the issues he was having so that God could help him resolve them. That's a friendship, where whenever you're dealing with things, you share those experiences or those problems, whatever, with your friend. Something good happens, you also want to celebrate with your friend. You want to thank God and stuff. That's friendship. And we do all of those things through prayer. Prayer is essentially the means by which we communicate with God. And we have a whole series on what prayer is that kind of went into the details of this. So if we want to build a friendship with God, we have to make our requests known to him. We have to tell him what's going on in our lives and bring him in, get him involved so that he can help us resolve our issues. He can lead us in the path of righteousness and all the other fantastic things that the Bible speaks of. If you read 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7 and Psalm 55 verse 22, we read that we should cast our cares upon him. Burdens we have, problems we have, whatever, we should bring him in, rely on him, confide in him. And the only way we can do that is if we let him know our requests. Once again, not that he doesn't know them, but that act of telling him is what builds that relationship, builds that connection, builds that bond, right, with him. And to conclude, we were told in Philippians chapter 4 verse 6 that we should get God involved and talk to him on a regular basis. Anytime we have requests, things we want to ask, we should talk to him about it and let him know that we have those wishes in mind. That's how we build our relationship. He said, be careful for nothing. Don't be overly anxious and overwhelmed about what's going on, but bring him in, because that's what alleviates those burdens off your shoulders. And then he's able to help us through it. And then he continued by saying, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. So with that, I think that answers the question as to if God is all-knowing, why do we have to tell him our requests? If you enjoyed this video and liked what I said, as I always say, there's a like button, there's a subscribe button, and there's the notification bell so that when we come back with another video, you'll be the first to arrive. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.